we got down here and we landed in the Woodlands, which, is just a lovely place to raise a family. So there was a parish, St. Simon and Jude, that I was a part of for a little while. I remember going up to the pastor, like one of the first weeks we were there, and saying, "Hey, there's no music at this mass. I could provide it." And at that point, I had been ministering music. I had done a little bit of recording. I was well into my gift.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm thinking, oh, hey, you're going to be glad you know me. Well, the priest said, "You know what? The people don't like music at the first mass on Sundays." This was, in the old days.
Okay.
So I was just shocked. I'm like, oh. And we had little kids, so we wanted to come to the early mass because they were up and let's go.
Yes.
So it took a while. I got into VBS with that parish at St. Simon and Jude and did the music for VBS, which was fun. The woman that ran it, she came up to me and she said, "We have been praying for you to come."
Oh, that's nice.
And my heart just, because it was still a transition time of leaving Steubenville with such incredible music and faith-filled environment to this parish that we didn't know and they didn't need me. So I just sat with that.
And so Vacation Bible School was your foot in the door with the music.
And it wasn't an intentional thing. It was just, I have kids that are going to be in it and I can play my guitar and walk
your
around.
Gift.
Hey, I know all the kids' songs, right? So I cannot remember the exact timing after the VBS, but I did meet up with some other musicians that wanted to form a group. And once again, we formed a group. And I went to the pastor again and I said, "I have a group.
Yes.
What can we do to serve the parish?" That was my approach. And he said, "Well, we're going to start a 12 o'clock mass. How about that?" And I'm like, 12 o'clock? That's like lunch and getting ready for naps,
Yeah, with the kids, because you're thinking as a mother.
Right?
How old were your kids at that time?
The oldest was third grade.
Okay,
So
still pretty young.
Third and first in kindergarten and age two. So, So anyway, we did that. We committed. And we grew and it was wonderful. I remember one of the deacons came up to me because I was introducing new praise and worship music, things I'd learned in Steubenville, new Catholic music that was out. And he came up to me and he took my hands and he said, "We have needed you in this parish and I am so glad you're here. Keep doing what you're doing." So fast forward so I think we were there between 3 and 4 years. And fast forward to the announcement that St. Anthony of Padua would be starting in the Woodlands. And I remember sitting in the pew that year and I knew the priest got up and he spoke about the new parish and we lived in the geographic area of the new parish. And I knew I would go. I knew it from like the moment they announced it. So,
was it like a different experience? I'm sure it's a different experience starting a parish as compared to coming into one that's...
Yes, and I think that was the whole experience in the Woodlands. Just like here in our growing area, the new neighborhoods bring people that are not with their families, and so they link up together. And in the churches, they reach out to one another because all their extended family is not necessarily here. And I experienced it in the Woodlands in the neighborhood, but also in the parish, the new parish. But the older parish was a bit more set and there were established people and all that. So St. Anthony's started and I was a part of beginning the first music ministry in that parish. And it was
such an exciting
very
time.
exciting. In fact, when fast forward to St. Faustina, we actually did some of the same music in the opening mass of St. Faustina that I had brought in at the opening mass of St. Anthony of Padua. And it was a very special moment for me to know that, God would have mercy on my life and allow me the privilege of doing something so special. It's emotional.
There's nothing wrong with going to an older parish and trying to help out. But, like you said, people are set in their ways, and you just got lucky that they started that 12 o'clock mass.
Well, I think the priest knew that the gifts and talents were there. He just didn't quite know how to use us.
Yeah,
and then when they decided
that
the parish was growing, they needed to add a mass, and that worked. Right before I left St. Simon and Jude, he told me, he was very upset that I was leaving.
Aww.
And he told me, he said, this is the most participatory mass of the entire weekend.
Wow.
And I thought, okay, so I'm doing something right with the way that we're putting out the music. And so just, affirmation, continue on. St. Anthony's was the place where most of the sacraments were for my children and the marriages. And we had a funeral, and my husband, Pat, and I got married there 9 years ago.